I think most of you have seen before, right? Only some people have not seen. Who is seeing me for the first time? Okay. All the people in the back. Can you see me? Or yeah, is it okay? Because they wanted me to sit on the stage, but I thought this way I'll be more near to people. But if you feel that you can't see me, then I can go up. You're okay? Say okay. Because now again to set up will take time. Now it is 11 o'clock. Huh?
Yeah.
11 to
12.
12. Okay. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. Hari Om. So I believe you all have been watching the Upanishad Ganga during the weeks. That's very nice. So I have been asked to talk about the third chapter, from a few shlokas from the third chapter. I hope you all have looked at the little bit synopsis that has been given in the advertisements. How many of you know what I'm going to talk about? Only a few. Okay. So that's good. I can just bluff whatever I want. No, I won't bluff. So as you know, Bhagavad Gita can be roughly divided into 3 portions. 1 to 6 can be roughly called as the Karma Yoga portion. From 7 to 12 as Bhakti Yoga, and 13 through the 18th as the Jnana Yoga. This is all roughly, because everything is there in each of the chapters, but you can roughly say this is how the whole thing has been divided, because the Tat Tvam Asi Mahavakya, which talks about the oneness of each individual and the Lord. Tat means that, Tvam means you, Asi means are. So in the first six chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Tvam Pada is talked about. That is, we as an individual. What are we? Are we just the body? Or what is our true nature? That reality is talked about in the first 6 chapters, roughly. The next 6 chapters talk about Tvam Pada, which is God, and all His glories. And so that is Bhakti Yoga. And the last 6 roughly talk about how they can be equal. Because as I know today, I cannot be as great as God, even though I think in the heart of hearts I am really great. Each one of us thinks like that. But we are not talking about the body, we are not talking about the mind, we are not talking about the intellect, we are talking about something which is greater than all this. So, keeping this in mind, the first 6 chapters mainly talk about what you and I are thinking of ourselves to be today, and how actually taking out, negating the body, negating the mind, negating the intellect, what my real true nature is. How do I get to it from where I am today? Today I am thinking that I am a body. Because whenever somebody asks me, what is your name? Who are you? I always think of myself as my name or my position. Oh, I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. No, I'm not asking about that. Then, oh, I'm so tall. I'm so short. I'm so fair. I'm so dark. I'm so foolish. No, nobody says that. I'm so smart. So either I identify with my body or my mind or my intellect. But there is something beyond, and how to identify with that from where I am today is what is talked about in Karma Yoga. How come each one of us is different from each other? If we are only made up of that same reality that the Vedanta talks about, then how come we don't look alike, we don't act alike, we don't think alike, we don't do anything alike? And it is said that it's because of all the vasanas that we have collected from various janma janmantaram, that is from various births that we have taken, we are what we are today. The whole idea is that which is our core of our personality. To get to that, you have to go through these vasana layers, which may be very thin in some people, which may be very thick in some of us, which may be medium in some of us. So, these yogas, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, tell us the method as to how to reduce these thicknesses of the layers of vasanas so that that which is our core of personality can totally, exhibit itself. Like when the water is very muddy, the bed of the river cannot be seen. After the monsoon especially, when the water is very muddy, you can't see what is underneath the water in the rivers. But when everything clears out, some of the rivers are so clear that you can see the bed, the little pebbles inside, the little fish that is swimming inside. It's so beautiful. When all the vasana layers get cleared out, that which is the core of the personality becomes very evident. That's how when the Swamis and great people, saints and sages come, we feel that they are so divine. Because all their vasanas have gone away and they exhibit that which is the core of their personality. And it says in the Karma Yoga that even you and I are not, in the first portion of the Bhagavad Gita that we are talking about, it says that you and I are that same divinity and yet we are not able to exhibit because of this thickness of layers of vasanas. And in Karma Yoga it's very easy. It says that you also can exhibit it if you do the actions totally dedicating it to the Lord, not thinking that I am the doer, without any ego and without any I and mine. Everything is colored for us because we look at the world through these glasses of I and mine. How does that happen? When my child is sick, I have one kind of set of values. When the same sickness comes to your child, I look at the problem totally differently. When my neighbor's child has 104 fever, she comes running and says, I don't know what to do. I say, nothing, no problem, only 104. Just give her Tylenol or put some compress on the head. Or sometimes you put her in the water tub for a little bit. All this advice you can give very easily comes out for you. But when it is my own child, the same temperature, I become so scared and I run. And when somebody says that, I say, they don't know. Why is it like that? Because I see the problem through this glasses of I and my. That's why all the surgeons are not allowed to operate on their own kith and kin. We all know that. Because you cannot do justice, your mind becomes clouded by this I and my. We all know this. When you don't have that I and my, we feel that then we won't be able to take care of our kids. Because without attachment, how can you take care of your kids? You can take care of your kids much better if you don't have attachment, because you will have a proper understanding of what the problem is, right? When my child behaves very badly and you come and tell me, please see to it that your child doesn't talk this nonsense like this all the time, she's swearing or whatever, I don't like it. I don't like you then. When you tell me, I don't like you because you don't know the goodness of my child. Yeah, once or twice she might have by mistake, she might have said that. But normally she never uses such kind of word. Not my child. Immediately, I try to justify what my child does because of this I and my, because of my attachment. So, Bhagavad Gita tells us that if you don't have this feeling of I and my, then you will perform your actions so well that when the attachments go away, the vasana layers become thinner and thinner and thinner, and you can see the problem properly, and that which is the core of your personality will automatically, totally, emit itself as though. This is so simple to hear, but actually it is as simple as you can see this. And the Lord has beautifully given all kinds of examples to Arjuna, and coming to Arjuna's particular problem. Arjuna's particular problem was that he was ready to fight. Actually, they all did not want to fight. Please remember the whole of Mahabharata in your mind when we come to this problem. The Pandavas tried to avoid the fight. They went back and forth asking the Kauravas for half the kingdom. They were not given. They said, at least give us 5 cities. No, 5 cannot be given. Okay, at least 1 village. No. 5 houses. No. 5 Pancha Pandavas are there. 5 houses. No. 1 house with 5 bedrooms. No, real estate is not that great nowadays. If there is any 5-bedroom house, it doesn't get sold, so we don't build anymore, said Duryodhana. So, nothing at all, not even the point of a needle can we give you. If you are real men, then you should eat quiche. No, sorry, that's not what the Lord said. It was said, the Duryodanas, the Kauravas said, if you are really Kshatriyas, then come and fight and take your own land. So there was no way. The Lord Krishna had to go back and forth as a messenger to stop the war. That also did not fructify. And finally, the war, they could not avoid the war. Now, there are so many people who are in Kaurava's side, much lesser number of people on the Pandava side. It's always like that. 5 Pandavas versus 100 Kauravas. For each good thought, there are 20 negative thoughts. Why do you have to go to Gita class today? Patel Brothers has sale today. Why aren't you going there, says the mind. There are 100 little things that are going on in our mind. For every positive, there is 20 negative. That's what is shown through this. So here is the war, and Krishna and Arjuna enter. Arjuna is ready. Arjuna is always with the Gandiva, showing that he is ready to fight. They have entered, and Arjuna, very an innocent thing that he has asked Krishna. He said, hey Krishna, the way he asked, take me to the middle of the forces, to the no man's land, so that I can see all the Kauravas, so that I can strategize my plan for this war. So Krishna who knows everything, very, very beautifully takes him, not in front of Duryodhana, Dushasana, all those bad guys. Then there would not have been Bhagavad Gita. Yeah? So strategically, he just goes in front of all the good people on the other side, all the teachers and great people, and he puts the chariot there. Now look, he says. So Arjuna, when he sees his own grandfather Bhishma, his own teacher Dronacharya, everybody on the other side, suddenly becomes very nervous. These are the people who have taught me, and if I were to fight with them, how am I going to ever win? The problems in life, that's how they attack us. When I see through the goggles of I and my, this is my teacher, this is my grandfather, this is my uncle, this is my so and so, this is my, I and my, you become totally deluded. And Arjuna becomes a broken man. Till 1 second ago he was ready to fight, now he doesn't want to fight, so his mind is coming up with all these different beautiful reasons why he should not fight. Our mind is so capable, unbelievably capable. So the logic in the first chapter, if you read, you will side with Arjuna. Poor guy, he is like Buddha, does not want to fight. You will really side with him, the way his mind is working. That is to show how our mind can pull us down without our knowledge. And the Lord alone can give us the right cure. The best thing that Arjuna did was that he surrendered to the Lord. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. I come to your refuge, O Lord. Tell me whether I should fight or I should not fight. Whether it is good for me to win or whether it is good for me to lose. Lot of reasons, we can't go through all that. That's not our point today. So, having surrendered himself to the Lord, he's listening to the Lord, whatever advice he is giving. Just put yourself in Krishna's position. Because we always think, our children, they are all asking questions. Till they were small, at least I could tell them something. Now that they have become teenagers, they don't want to listen to me. Can you imagine having this Arjuna as a student? Because who can come up with all this logic? Now Krishna has to, in the battlefield, in front of all the enemies, they are not facing the friends, they are facing the enemies. In front of them, he has to put some sense into this Arjuna. What a tremendous job in front of him. Without getting perturbed, smilingly he starts. Prahasanniva means smilingly he starts giving advice to Arjuna. In the beginning, he is giving very, very mundane examples, and he is slowly taking Arjuna to a height where he says, if you don't look at the problem through this I and my, then you can definitely, understand what the problem is. Your problem, O Arjuna, is because you are putting yourself as I and my in that attachment mode, you are not able to see it. And he gives a lot of examples, a lot of beautiful logic. So now you put yourself in that position. Having come up to this, now Arjuna understands what Krishna says is true. That I have seen this whole problem from a different perspective where I did not, use my brain properly. But suddenly a question comes to him. He thinks, the question he asks is, Arjuna, Krishna, I understand what you are saying. But I find in the world that even though people know what is right and what is wrong, people know what is right and what is wrong. What I don't want others to do to me, I should not be doing to them. That much I know. If I don't want you to slap me, I should not be slapping you. Simple. I know that I don't want my children to watch all the dirty movies. But I want. What kind of a thing is that? Athakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha Anichannapi varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. That is the question. Oh Lord, even though I don't want to commit sin, as though some Satan or some Asura is sitting inside me. You know, in the cartoons and all, the movies and all, they show an angel and a devil here. This one says, go to Gita class, go to Gita class, in a sweet word. Don't go, don't go. They show like that. Actually, this is what is happening inside. So as though there is somebody pushing me into doing something that is not right. Even Duryodhana, I have told you before, long time ago when I came here, Duryodhana says, Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi, janami adharmam nachame nivrittihi. I know what is dharma. But what to do? I don't have an inclination to do good. And I know what is adharma. But I don't want to get away from there. Oh, I'm so tempted. In other words, you and I know what is good. In the heart of hearts, we know what is good. But as though somebody from inside is pushing me to do something like that, who is that? Who is that Asura who is inside me, who is making me do this? The Lord just smiles and he says a beautiful sentence. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha Mahashano Mahapapma Vidhyena Miha Vairinam. Okay? The Lord says, okay Arjuna, this is called as Kamaha. Kamaha means desire, lust. AKA. What is AKA? Also known as another name, like pet name, Krodha. So he is not calling them as two different things. He is calling Kama aka Krodha. Kama known as Krodha. In other words, lust known as anger. Those are two different emotions. Maybe God does not know. You and I may think. But actually, when you want something, you have deep desire inside you, when it is not fulfilled, a third person comes, like all the Hindi movies. In Hindi movies, you have to have one good guy and then a beautiful heroine and then a bad guy. Without this trio, the movies cannot take place. We all know that. So, if you go to a movie and you have this beautiful boy, the handsome boy looking at a beautiful girl, they fall in love. The parents are so good, they say, get married, beta. And then there is a marriage and then you say, Shubham, finished. You will say, what kind of a movie is this? Please give me my money back. You need to have some dishum, some fight. You should have some kind of, running around the trees. I don't know where they find that kind of a place, God knows. But then you have to have all those things. There should be some comedy. There should be somebody who dies. Not the hero or heroine. Somebody, some unrelated person, and everybody has to cry. And suddenly there will be a dance. All these different emotions have to be brought in. So anyway, that has nothing to do with this. So something like that, when that desire cannot be fulfilled and somebody comes in front of us and takes it away, then I get so angry at that person who got it. I will see to it that he cannot enjoy it. So that krodha is nothing but, that anger is nothing but another form of this lust only, another form of this desire only. So whenever you get angry, drink some cold water and sit down and think. It's not possible when you are really angry, but if at all possible, think about, why am I angry? There is always something that is obstructed, that's how you are angry. It is my view and they are not taking it. I am selling it. I am so good. Something or the other. So, the kama itself, the desire or the lust itself becomes krodha. Maha ashanaha maha papma. Vidhi enam. Enam is singular. He does not say as though they are two, but the Lord calls it as only one emotion, two names to that same emotion, which is either desire or anger. And he says that this is the Vairi, this is your enemy who is inside you and pushing you into doing all unwanted things. He says one is called as Kama, and it says another one is Krodha. Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. This is coming out of the Rajoguna in you. You all know there are three types of gunas inside you: Sattva Guna, Rajoguna and the Tamo Guna. We are not going into the details of that. And he says Maha Ashanaha Maha Papma. One is a great voracious eater. Huh? What? Voracious eater? What do you mean by that? Mahashanaha. Huh? So Kamaha, adjective to that is that Mahashanaha. Krodaha, the adjective to that is the Mahapapma. Okay? So Kamaha is something you can never ever fulfill it. The more you fulfill, the more you want. There is no time that you will say, okay, enough of this mangoes. Just joking, please eat mangoes. But the thing that you like very much, you say, okay, today only one mango I will eat. But it is so sweet, so good. Whatever you like, you just substitute. Again, for the time being, the mind says, okay. But again, in a little bit of time, one more doesn't matter. The doctor said, once in a way I can eat. Once in a way becomes every day. Or every hour, whatever, according to whatever I feel like I do. Mahashanaha means that like a fire. However much fuel you put, it will only burn more and more. The Kama is like that. The more and more you try to fulfill, the more and more it will want. So it's a voracious eater. It can never ever be satisfied. And Krodha is Mahapapma. That which makes you do all things that are so against the grain of your personality. What is Papa and what is Punya? We have to understand. When we are at the very mundane level, there are these do's and don'ts within Nishedha, it is called. And they all give you, thou shalt not, or thou shalt, whatever. Those are all do's and don'ts. Of course, you know that's very easy. But at the Vedantic level, we have to understand that you and I are nothing but the divinity, we are all told. That is our birthright to claim. And still, we don't want to claim it because we think that we are not deserving. And the Vedanta says, in this birth itself, you can get realized. That any action that takes you towards your goal is called as Punya Karma. That which takes you away from that goal, that which you takes more and more away from the goal, is called as Papa. If you have this idea in your mind, so whatever takes you towards your goal is Punya Karma. That which takes you away from it is called as Papa Karma. If we understand this much, what's the time now? 30? Okay. So, when we know this, what is Papa and what is Punya, then you have to understand that this Kama becomes Krodha and it makes you do things that you regret later. I wish I had not done that. I wish I had not said that. I wish I had not gone there. In the heart of hearts, I knew I should not have uttered those words. But in that anger, I become so angry that it makes me do Papa Karmas. So I don't let my mind go up to that level. How can I do it? Is there any way? Because the title that is given today for today's talk is, how do you manage your desires? First of all, should I have to manage my desires? I love it. I love my whatever, gulab jamun, baklava, whatever. So what is wrong in that? As long as it's not taking you away from your goal, doesn't matter, keep eating. But when the doctor has told you your sugar level is too high, of course it is Papa Karma only. Like that, whatever takes me towards, I want to come to Balavihar, I want to come and see darshan of the Lord. Very good, that desire is good. Yeah, that will take you towards your goal, remember that. But there are desires which are taking me away from what my goal is, and yet I'm doing it. Why? That is the question here. And is there any way I can understand it, and then I can not manage it, but conquer it if at all possible. If not possible, at least try to have a decent life. So now this whole portion of the Bhagavad Gita is an analysis of this. So then the Lord has said, Kama Yesha, also known as Krodha, it is a great thing that will never be satisfied, and it will take you towards the negative element. Mahashanaha Mahapapma Vidhi. Please understand that this is your enemy. If I have an enemy, I should know how he operates. Now the next thing that the Lord is talking about is that it comes in 3 colors. This desire comes in 3 hues, 3 different ways. Even though he said Rajoguna, it is coming from, it is born out of your Rajoguna, but now he is saying 3 beautiful examples. Dhume navriyate vanhihi yathadarsho malena cha yatholve navrito garbha tathate nedamavritam. 3 examples. Why I am chanting is, I don't want you to think that I am giving my own theory, that's all. So, dhumena avriyate vannihi. First example. Just as the fire is covered by a thin layer of smoke. This desire in you can be of 3 varieties. You see which kind of desire you have in order to analyze. So the first kind is like a thin layer of smoke surrounding the fire. When there is a thin layer of, in India in the olden days, you must have seen in the movies and all, they used to have coal, stoves. And then they would have a long tube for the thing to move away. Then when you blow on it, then all the smoke goes away and the fire just burns more, isn't it? So when there is a thin layer of smoke covering the fire, all that you have to do is just go foo. You just blow on it and there is fire. You are not creating fire. The fire is already there. The Lord, the divinity is within you. The desire is so sattvic. Very sattvic desire. Doesn't take long. All that you have to make, you have to understand is, I am that Brahman. Why am I behaving like this? Why am I wanting all this? Very sattvic desire, it can be very easily gotten rid of. First example. Yatha darsho malena cha. Second example, yatha adarshaha. Adarshaha means mirror. Malena cha. This example only in India we can understand. When you go on a vacation for 2-3 months and you come back, then the mirror becomes so full of dust. Here nothing happens because we are always, everything is airtight. So this example we can't even understand too much anyway. So if you go to your son's dorm, then you will understand, or your daughter, normally the boys, anyway, let me not be prejudiced. So the mirror is full of thick dust. In that, when you go and do poo-poo, nothing will happen. You have to really take some kind of cleaner, Windex or whatever, you have to do it, and then first you have to do clockwise, then anti-clockwise with the proper thing. And in India, what do? You take the print, the paper. I don't know if you know that. You take newspaper. You go with that printed paper when you do, then it shines. So it takes time and it takes a little bit of effort. There are some desires which you have to work on, in which there is some, you have to really remember, why am I getting, attracted to this? I know it is not good for me. I have to really convince myself and I have to work. That is second type of desire. Whatever desire you have to analyze. Each one has a different kind of desire. The third one, Are Bapre, the Lord says, Yatha ulbena avritaha garbhaha. So, when the fetus is covered by the baby, the little thing is covered by that womb, you cannot say foo. You cannot, it takes 9 months or whatever the time has to, you have to wait for that much time, and so much of effort on the part of the mother and the baby also. It is really tough. That kind of desire, don't say that just, I have decided I will not have. No, bhai, it doesn't work like that. You have to really work on it. If you have that kind of kama, that kind of krodha, then you have to put forth effort, and it takes time and effort. So these three are analyzed as three different types of desires that people can have. Very sattvic desire, rajasic desire, or tamasic desires. So these are, so analysis has been done. It is called as kama, which also becomes the krodha, same thing. So don't give it a big name that I have some desire. No, desire will lead to the krodha also. And in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if you remember, there is a fall of man. In that it says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangahateshu Upajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodhaha Abhijayate Krodhat Bhavati Samohaha Samohat Smriti Vibramaha Smriti Bhramshat Buddhinashaha Buddhinasha Pranashyati. Everything starts with a little bit of thought, and then slowly it can gather momentum, and it becomes anger, and once you become totally, that overpowers you, that you do things and that you regret later. I wish I had not gotten that angry. Isn't it? It can take you to the whole fall of man. So here it says, so don't give it a very nice name. Oh, I have some beautiful desire. No, it can become this. So Kamayesha, Krodayesha, and these are the three types. Now, how do I manage this? I don't even like that word manage. How do I annihilate this? I have to get rid of it. Vidhi enamiham vairinam. The Lord calls it as a vairi. That is, it is a real enemy that is sitting inside you. Because Arjuna is a Kshatriya. He has come to fight. That language only he will understand. You can't use all polished language. This is your enemy, Arjuna. Kill it. Something like that. So here, it's very beautiful. I'm just going to repeat what Gurudev used to say. It seems in the police station, they have a record of all the thieves. You might have seen it too many times or heard Gurudev's. So but every time you think of Gurudev's examples, they are immortal. They are always fantastic. So he says, in the police station, you have a record of all the thieves, how they operate. So if you know the modus operandi, how one theft has taken place, then you can trace, and you say, this must be done by so and so. That's what they all know. And they know what each of the different robbers, different thieves, different kind of con guys, where they are, what their residence is, etc. So this one particular vairi, an enemy, a thief, very powerful. These people want to apprehend him. So they know the three residences that he goes to. One is, he may go to his own house where his wife is. And supposing the wife lives in Monroeville. And his mother lives in, because I don't know the neighborhood, I'm just saying South Hills. And he has a girlfriend. You have to make it like a Hindi movie. And she lives in, say, North Hills, somewhere. Yeah. So, three different places these people know. So, he may either go to the mother's house, or to the wife's house, or to the girlfriend. So, what do? Two places, they have, visibly police and cars and this and that and all security, everybody knows that around the mother's house and around the wife's house, there are so many police things visible. So when he texts or maybe calls, shall I come to our house today? Hurry, don't come. I see all the police here. Don't come, says the wife. Calls the mother, can I come to your house? Hurry, beta, don't come. Everybody is around. I see wherever I turn, there is only police. Calls his girlfriend. How about there? Nobody here. Why? Because the police is in mufti. They are in regular clothes. So you think that this is just a thela wala. He is just selling something, or somebody is walking around. No, they are all police only, but in ordinary clothes. So no, even the police cars and all don't have any marking. So then they are all watching. Whole day has gone, nobody has entered the house. And this guy comes, he has a back door entrance. Somehow somebody knew that he has gone inside, but they cannot prove it. So he is inside this girlfriend's house. So these people wait, and then after the evening, they go and knock on the door. And when the girlfriend comes and opens the door, then, we came to arrest so and so, Johnny. Johnny bhi koi nahi hai. There is nobody here. No, we have the warrant. We have to search the house. No, I'm alone. You cannot come. No, I have to come. So then they go in. Everywhere they have searched. And he is not there. Now what to do? The head of that, he knows that he must be here only. Goes everywhere, and underneath the bed, there are 2 shoes that are standing like this. How can shoes stand like this unless it is followed by the legs? Yeah? So he is hiding inside. He is lying down on the little space underneath, and his shoes are like this. So he pulls the shoes, and out comes the man. In other words, by allowing him not to go to the mother's house and the wife's house, they have somehow channeled him to come to the girlfriend's house. So here in Bhagavad Gita, the thing is, Indriyani manaha buddhihi asya adhisthana uchyate. That's what the shloka is. So the Lord says, this karma, this desire resides in 3 places: Monroeville, North Hills, something like that. So immediately you have to translate that. So indriyas means the sense organs, or at the mind manaha, or at the buddhi level. So many things we just see, so nice. That necklace will look so nice on me. Doesn't look nice on you. That's what it means. Or whatever. So this, it can be at the sensory perception level, or my mind says, how nice, 1 cup of coffee. Right now it would be so nice. All my thoughts would just gurgle. I love it. Mind level. Or this is my firm belief. There is no intellect and mind as such. There is no compartmentalized places. But just for our understanding, it's called as samshayatmika manaha, nishchayatmika buddhihi. In other words, whenever we have a doubt, it is called as feelings. It is called as mind. And whenever we make up our mind, it becomes a buddhi. So if you understand that, so you know that the desire can be at the perception level. I see something I want, I hear something I want, I smell something I want, I taste something I want, I touch something I want. Or my mind gets so perturbed when I look at some things. Or my buddhi, I am convinced that I should have it. So these are the 3 places of this Johnny, or whoever that thief is. He resides in these 3 places. So it says, Tasmatvam indriyani adau niyamya bharatarshava. O Arjuna, You only in the beginning. In the beginning, try to apprehend this thief of a desire which is hiding in you at the sense level. In other words, if you think that you will be tempted if you go to a certain place, don't go there. If you think that you will be tempted if you are in a certain group with a certain type of people, they all do that, so they will say, what kind of a man you are or what kind of a woman you are. Don't worry, you can do it. Only once, nothing wrong. Don't go there. At the perception level itself, in the beginning, you can control. But that's not long lasting, remember. Okay? Tasmatvam indriyani adav niyamya. Adav means in the beginning. So you try to control at the level of the senses. That's easier in the beginning. But what is the permanent solution? Permanent solution should be given. Bhagavad Gita is thorough. It's so thorough, it is just unbelievable. You cannot have any other management courses that you can take except Bhagavad Gita. Any topic you take, everything, how it works. If you go to Shankara Bhashyam, you will be surprised. All the things that the other opponent can talk, he will have. Already he has thought about it and he will write it. And when you read it, you say, oh my goodness, what kind of a mind is that? So Shankara is so thorough that you understand as to what the other person can think and what you will. It's not other person, it's me only thinking all these negative thoughts. It's amazing. So here the Lord has said what is desire, what is pushing you to do this, and that desire itself comes in 3 different ways, and it is so difficult when it is sattvic desire. Just like I told you, those of you who have been coming to the, this Hanuman Chalisa, I told you, the first obstacle that Hanuman met with was such a sattvic one. Mainaka Parvata asking him to take a Kit Kat break. Just take a little break and have fun. Then you say, such a nice guy. So that itself becomes an impediment in our goal. So here also, sattvic, even though we think that it is good, that also becomes an impediment. So that also we should know. So sattvic desires, rajasic desires and tamasic desires, and these can be residing in these 3 places. So first you apprehend him in his girlfriend's house. Right? So this is the Indriyan. Now what is the permanent solution is being told now. So we'll see that one. It says, Indriyani paranyahu indriyebhya param manah manasastu para buddhihi yo buddhe paratastu saha. So the Lord says, there is a hierarchy. What is the hierarchy? Now I have to share with you how Gurudev used to explain. Okay, so he used to talk about this place in Delhi called Connaught Circus. Connaught Place, Connaught Circus. So it's a round, big, huge place around which there are all these different streets that are coming out. And this man is coming back from his second shift work. His house is on the right, first street on the right. You have to keep left in India, remember. So then you have to make a left all the way Pradakshina we have to do and come back to the next street from this big street. 2 o'clock at night. Who is going to know? This man thinks, who is going to know? Let me quickly take a turn and go into my alley. As soon as he takes the right, immediately comes the lingam. What is the lingam? The red light, the police. Caught. Because he was waiting, this is what people do. Immediately he came. This guy has to stop. First thing he said, Sir, give me your license. So slowly, I can tell the story for half an hour like how Gurudev used to do. We don't have much time. So then, okay, give me your license. What license? Arey, your license. Oh, my license. Okay. Then, he as though he's searching for it. And as though he's trying to write the number of the car and as though he's trying to get the name. Everything is only all make-believe. This guy knows that guy wants money. That guy knows I want money. And so it is like that. So first he takes out 100 rupee note. And then he says, here is my license. What are you thinking of myself? I can never be bribed. 100 rupees, I'll put you in the jail. Takes it back. 1,000 rupees. Chee, what are you thinking? Now this guy knows that guy wants much more than that. So it just keeps on increasing as the time goes on. And finally, for a large amount, he will let you go. But think, if this guy says, you know what? I know the sub-inspector of police. He is my brother-in-law. Acha sab. Doesn't matter. Or even higher. Supposing he says, I know the transportation minister. Then still more. I'm sorry I stopped you. I know you are a very busy person. Just now you said so many bad things. Or supposing you say, Prime Minister is my brother-in-law's, father-in-law's, sister-in-law's, whatever. Some relation. Prime Minister? Saab, maaf kijiye, excuse me. Totally changed. This is what we see in life. So here it says, Indriyani parani ahuhu, indriyabhya param manaha, manasastu para buddhi, yo buddhe paratastu saha. So there is a hierarchy here. Indriyas are subservient to the mind. In other words, mind is the boss and indriyas are under that. So it's very difficult, where to see something and not have it, or taste something and not have it, feel something. But when the mind, I know that it's going to give me acidity. I will be whole night, I will be suffering. Chalo, then you give up. Higher than that, buddhi. Buddhi is the boss and mind becomes subservient to the mind. When you are convinced about something, like when all those people, great freedom fighters, when they were convinced that their goal is to get the freedom for life, for the whole country, were they bothered about their own single lives? They were not. So many of them sacrificed their whole family. You all know the stories. So then that becomes so, their feelings are nowhere to be seen. Everything they sacrifice. So first is the indriyas, more than the indriyas is the manas, more than the manas is the buddhi. And who is the boss of the buddhi? That which is your Brahma, which is your Atma, which is even controlling your buddhi. The one who knows the buddhi. All the other things I know. I know, I can see, I can hear, I can taste, I can smell, I can touch. That I know. At the same time, I know all my sense organs. I know my eyes, I know my ears, I know everything. And what is going on in my mind also I know. What my feelings are. I am very depressed today. Why? Because no sun came out. People get depressed for so many things. So I know my mind's condition. I am so happy today. That also I know. I know what my buddhi, what decisions I have made, I know. Yeah, my intellect I know. Who is this I who knows all these three? Who is that I? Who is that ego? Who is that knower of the ego also? Who is within each one of us and directing us, which cannot be seen as an object because that is the very subject. Subject can never become the object. With all the scopes, microscope, this scope, that scope, I can look at the other things. But if I want to see myself, I cannot go to the other side because I won't be here to see. The subject cannot be an object. So, yo buddhe paratastu saha, that which is beyond even the intellect, that which is the very subject, the core of my personality, which is nothing but that Brahman. If you were to catch hold of that Prime Minister, right, in that, remember, you have to equate that example to what we are talking. When you know the sub-inspector of the police or whatever, wherever there is hierarchy. Think of the governor, state, whatever, in here. If you know the topmost person, why not go directly? Evam buddhe param buddhva. That's the way the last shloka ends. Knowing that which is the final. Atmana Atmanam means totally merging your mind, your intellect in that Brahman, which is the core of your personality, through meditation. When you do that, then what kind of desire can bother you? When everything is given, like even in mundane example, when you have had a full stomach full of nice food you have eaten, like yesterday's dinner. You have eaten so much, somebody tempts you. Rasmalai, very good. Nothing you get tempted because you are full. When you have tasted that bliss of ananda of your own, your own nature, it is with you all the time, 100%, 24/7. When you have tasted that, all the other desires, what will tempt you? Nothing can tempt you. Don't say I am falling a prey to this or that. Evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhyatmanam atmana means, totally controlling your mind through that. Because you are in that blissful state. Having attained this, O Arjuna, Jahishatrum Mahabaho Kamarupam Durasadam. O Arjuna, you can conquer, you can come out as a winner, you can manage all your desires, which is in the form of Kamarupam Durasadam. Otherwise, it looks like it is impossible to conquer this. But once you know the boss's boss, and you are in that state, nothing can bother you. It is as simple as that. By controlling my senses, by understanding what my feelings are, and by understanding what the decisions that I make, whether it is right or wrong, and then totally merging my mind in that Brahman during my meditation, I can control everything. Then there is nothing that can bother me. Yeah? So this, in short, is what the Gita way of managing your desires, you can say, conquering your desires, you can say, or you can say that in spite of all the desires, like for the sake of children, we play with them. Can you please play Candyland? They come and ask you. Say, of course. You sit down and play. I don't like that. The dragon is going to. Then you also act like that. Hey, now I'm winning. And then they say, this grandma, no, I'm a grandma, so that's why. Or you may be mothers. Oh, my grandma gets very annoyed when she gets the dragon. They're all talking amongst themselves. So you have to act like you get very, perturbed. Or you get very elated. I got into that, that ladder. Whatever.
Takes you to 98.
Are you really 98? Takes you to 98. You know that.
I have grandson.
So you act. In the world, you just go, what a nice, lovely sari you are wearing. Oh, I love this. What? Who cares? So when you are in the world, you have to do all that. Do that, but understand that you are far beyond that. So you can live in this world. You can be like Krishna lived. Krishna was, oh my God, how many? 16,008 wives. One wife a man cannot keep happy. He kept everybody happy. How? So live like that. Having realized that, everything becomes like a play. And Shakespeare says that this whole world is nothing but a stage. And that is true. Everything becomes like, yeah, you just enjoy everything. If it is there, it is there. If it is not there, it's fine. So that is the way to manage the desires. So wish you all the best. What is the time? I think it is time.
12. Yeah.
Oh, it's 12. Okay. All right. So thank you very, very much for giving me this opportunity. Please come to the Balavihar and please see the Upanishad Ganga. Whenever Vivek ji is there, please listen to him. Whenever Swami Shantananda comes, please listen to him. You will all become like, our goal has to be very clear. Having been given this human birth, we have to realize in this birth itself. Nothing else will tempt us. Yeah? Thank you. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. God bless you. Hari Om.
Hari Om.